Welcome back to the channel, my G4 family. How are you doing today? We're going to do some more Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and I'm going to share with you my favourite gun in the game, which is the 416. And I'm going to tell you why I like this gun so much, and then we'll break down how I have it set up. And you might want to have a wee look at it. Let's do it! So before we get started today, I want to just clarify something about the whole thing about what is the best gun in the game, G4. What's the best gun what should I be using? The best gun is the gun that or weapon is the one that suits you and your play style. I've never been into this is the best gun and you shouldn't be using anything else kind of philosophy. The best gun is the one that you want to use, and I've used many in Ghost Recon Breakpoint over the last couple of years. The 416 is one that I recently got onto. It's an assault rifle. It's super versatile and yeah, very accurate, so I actually love it. I have had a couple of favourite guns, and I've covered them in previous episodes with the tips and tricks series, so if you want to check out a number of the guns, but I'm not into telling you what you should or shouldn't be used. What we do on this channel is we just give you the information and you can make a judgment based on that. So what we're going to do today is we're going to show you the 416 assault rifle. I'm going to show you where to get it, how to get it, how I've got it set up, and why I think it's worth a look. Now I know there will be people that say, yeah, but it's not the best this or that. I don't care. I love the gun. I recently started playing immersive mode a few months back, or be 3 or 4 months back, and the first gun that I wanted to get in the game was the 416, and you'll see as we go through the video why that is. So you can't actually get the 416 fairly early in the game as you're making your way to R1. Make sure you just searching any chest that you come across, any of the bases that you come across. But if you fail to find it, then of course you can always go to Maria's store or go to a bivouac and open the store from there. Now depending on what version of the game that you are playing, you might have to switch the store on. I know in immersive mode I actually had to switch the store on. It wasn't there by default in the bivouac, which is something just to be aware of. So once you get here, I'd suggest you go to your blueprints, and you can see there's a couple of versions of the 416 that you can actually procure. There's this a basic 416. Now again, depending on which playthrough you are using, whether you're using kind of just the standard playthrough or immersive mode, you may or may not get some additional buffs to your gun. If you're playing in immersive mode, it'll just be a standard gun. Anything else with the gear scores turned on, as you can see there, I'll get a boost of 30%, plus 30 handling and plus 30 accuracy, which sway the stats a little. So, and you'll see as we go through the 3 different versions that I've found of the gun, these will be slightly different. Like I said, if you're playing in immersive mode, that really doesn't matter because it's just the 416. But anyway, the standard 416 is described as being highly versatile and the gold standard, and that's what I love about it. It has a 27 damage, 700 RPM bullets per minute fire rate, and it uses a 5.56 ammo with 3.1 reload speed. Now if you look at the start bar there, you will see very clearly that it is super accurate, and that's what I love about this game. And the range is pretty good. It's short to mid-range. This is where this particular assault rifle really does shine, and that's why I love it so much. Now moving on to the 416 assault special, which is described as an assault variant, tougher recoil, higher power, and you can see the damage on this one is 32 as opposed to the standard 416 at 27 damage, Everything else is the same, ammo type, everything else is the fire rate, everything's the same. Obviously you have to upgrade any of these models to get the maximum out of them, and you can see this version again is an elite version. Gives an additional range buff and 30% accuracy, or plus 30 accuracy buff. So again, like I said, depending on what variant you get and when you build it, it will give you varying buffs to the weapon. Now we'll move on to the 416 Shorty, and again this is only a purple high-end version. But again, you can see with all three of these versions, the accuracy is super high. This is more of a close quarters version of the 416. It has a much shorter range, although looking at those stats, it doesn't really suggest that the range is any different to the base 416. You can see the damage is back to about the normal rate, the 416 at standard, 27, and nothing else has really changed there. So up to you which version of the gun you want to use. I generally use just the base model. You know, the assault model, if you can get it, would be a nice version to have, but I really don't think you're going to have much of a drama even with the base model with the 416, because this gun is just super accurate and super versatile. Okay, so moving on to the setup, which is probably what most of you are interested in. How I personally have it set up so that you get the most out of the gun. So let's go through the attachments that I'm using. So I always use the short barrel because the time to aim and some of the vertical recoil, and we have done some recoil tests in the past, and I may well put them up on screen a bit now in the corner just so you can see them. But the recoil is pretty controllable in this gun. If you can get extended mags, all the better. You can see down in the stats just below that I get 50 shot mag to play with on extended mags. I'll always leave the ASR standard muzzle on so I can switch suppressor in or out. But if you're not worried about being silent with this gun, I would suggest using the muzzle brake attachment. That really does tighten up the hip fire. Always use the PEQ 15. Again, this is all about making this gun super accurate. The scope that I use is the EXP3XG33. You can use what actually works for you. This is the one that has the varying scope, so you can sight it in on 2 different zoom levels, and you can toggle between them. The stock really doesn't matter, as far as you can either get with a stock a recoil control or time to aim. I generally tend to have this on a time to aim basis because I want it to be super quick. But you know, you could put a vertical recoil on it. It just depends what your personal play style is. As far as the trigger goes, I generally have this on a single trigger setting, and if you're not sure how to do that, I'll show you how to do that shortly. And then for the foregrip, again, up to you what you want to put in there. This tends to have a lot of vertical recoil on it, and it is controllable. But the more that you can get it to be under control as far as vertical recoil, and then the quicker you can get it to aim in, the better. It's going to keep you alive a lot longer, and it is super accurate, as I've said before. So it gets you right on point, right on target, and yeah, you'll be fighting like a boss in no time. So to change the fire rate, we've showed this before. All you have to do is aim in, and you will see at the top of the D-pad there, the arrow up changes the fire rate. Very simple. Also with this scope, if I press right on the D-pad, it gives me 2 different magnifications. So whether I'm at mid-range for this one or close quarters. I can toggle between those different ranges very quickly. So there you go. There is everything I need to tell you about the 416. If you do decide to use it and you enjoy it, please let me know down in the comments. Or if it's not the weapon for you, I'd also like to know what you find about the gun, and if you have a different setup, what kind of setup you run. Thanks for joining us on the channel. We'll be giving you more and more Ghost Recon Breakpoint in the future. I'm going to get back into it now after a little bit of a hiatus. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and if you're not subscribed and you want to keep up to date with everything gaming for XP, make sure you hit that big red button. Catch you later. See ya!